Hello, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Terrance Montgomery, and I'm attending Drake University studying actuarial science. In this installment of Producing Through Proverbs, Stepping in Your Best Life Now, I will be using Proverbs 14:12. It reads, there is a way that appears to be right, but in the end it leads to death. This is basically saying that some of the actions that you are making now can lead us in a direction that we are not intending. An example from my life is in my first semester at Drake, I took a microeconomics course. I took economics in high school, so I thought I knew everything about economics. I was wrong. Under that assumption, I was not studying properly, I was barely paying attention in class. I reassured myself that I knew everything in class due to the hindsight bias. The hindsight bias is explained as after something is explained, your mind leads you to believe that you knew the answer all along. You might wonder how that applies to the verse. I'll repeat it. There is a way that appears to be right, but in the end it leads to death. I thought I was doing everything the right way, and I was not aware that I wasn't until my first test came back, and I didn't do as well as I'm used to. The things I thought I knew and didn't study were exactly the things that I got wrong on the test. The second part of the verse says, but in the end, it leads to death. In my case, it didn't lead to death. It led to a C in the class. And if it would have been a C during finals, it might have led to death. But in the day and age that we live in, it can lead to death. If you think running the streets and living the fast life to survive appears to be right, then that can easily lead to death or prison, which is not the destination that we want. The things we do currently can have a huge effect on your future. There are two major ways to avoid/fix this. The first one, which is usually the easier one, is to plan for the future. Think about all the actions you are about to make and think how it can affect the outcome of your life. This is called risk management. The business definition of risk management, according to businessdictionary.com, is the identification, analysis, assessment, control, and avoidance, minimization, or elimination of unacceptable risk. This is basically saying that think of the outcome before you make some of the actions. Determine if the risk is worth the benefit. If it is, take it. If it is not, try to avoid it. In an example from my life, if I would have paid attention in class instead of being on Twitter or playing games, I would have been in a much better position. The second solution is fixing the problem or removing the risk. You have to change the direction you are heading in for a brighter future. In my example, after I got my test back and my midterm grade, I knew I had to make a change. I started sitting in front or middle of the classroom based on what time I got there instead of in the back. It helped me pay attention in class. I had to work twice as hard just to end up with a B in that class, even though I should have ended with an A. So all in all, it's easier to avoid a risk than it is to fix one. Well, I guess that concludes my installment. In the words of Billy Brown, have a wonderful day.